Hi! If you know me, you most probably know that I'm a big fan of video games. They are a form of art and entertainment that earns billions in revenue today. And truthfully, I think everyone should try and complete one video game in their lifetime. It's the first form of media that you can actually interact with as if they were their own living, breathing world. And trust me, by the time it's done, the experience you had will be worth it. There's a genre for everyone in video games, whether you like action, adventure, farming, simulation, puzzle, horror, platformer, roleplay, each with its own unique pros and cons. You name it. Now, which one do I like? Well, I like every one of them. I think each video game can provide an experience that no other can give you. Now, whether that experience is good or bad entirely depends upon the quality of the set game. But you still learn something from a bad experience, like how to not buy from that company again. Yeesh. I was first introduced to video games in 2006. My mom and dad pooled in some money and bought me a Nintendo Super Entertainment System. That's a mouthful, I know, and that's why otherwise it's known as the NES, because also that sounds way cooler. And the first game I ever played was Super Mario Bros. And well, I fell in love with it. For a little kid like me, I didn't understood the complexities of what was happening in that machine in front of me, or even what a video game is. For me, it was just a cartoon that I could control, move around, left and right, up and down. Hell, I could even make it jump. And obviously, controlling a cartoon was something the 4-year-old me could never imagine. So when it did happen, when I was really controlling it, it felt like magic to me. I remember one Sunday morning when I was just playing Super Mario Bros. And my mom kept making butter toast for me again and again as breakfast. Like, as I kept emptying the plates while playing, she kept coming back and refilling it, coming into the room every 10 minutes to check if I ate them all or not. And honestly, it's one of the memories I still hold extremely close to my heart. And when I entered the 4th standard, I was admitted to a private school nearby. Unsurprisingly, I was not a talkative kid. It took me quite a while to adjust myself to a new environment, and I couldn't make any new friends. But I did heard all of them talking about this new fancy video game called the Grand Theft Auto, or famously known as GTA, the series which earns billions alone today, by the way. The people in my class were talking about it, the people in the bus were talking about it, seniors, juniors, you name it, everybody was talking about it. And well, as a 9-year-old, I was quite curious. So I did what every 9-year-old does when they want something. I threw a tantrum to my mom, almost crying that I want GTA. I cringe when I remember that time, but bless my mom. She's a wonderful human being. She came back home from church on a Sunday afternoon and brought with her a copy of Grand Theft Auto 3. Needless to say, I was overjoyed and immediately booted up the game on my computer. And well, let's just say unforgettable memories were made. While in Mario, I could only run, jump, or go left and right, in GTA, I was free to do, well, basically anything. Movement was not limited to only left and right or up and down. I could go north, northeast, west, southwest. I could steal cars, drive cars, shoot people people with cars. That was, well, another kind of magic spell for me. And then came the harsh, biting cold of the winter of 2011. My dad brought home a PlayStation 2 one day. My little brother and me were obviously quick to jump over it, and we started playing Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi and Naruto Ultimate Ninja 5 on it, fighting each other with different characters for hours and hours on end with different skills, different moves, and whatnot. After that, some months passed by and we bought a new game called Red Dead Revolver, a video game that takes place in the Western America in the 1800s. It was a cowboy game. It was a cowboy game with revolvers. I don't know why I made it sound like it was part of an American history lesson, but the fascinating thing about the game was my dad really liked cowboys and cowboy stuff, like he really liked them. He even has cowboy hats with him, now that I notice. My dad asked for the controller when I was gonna start the game, and I reluctantly gave it to him. And boy, I don't regret it now. Me, my little brother, and this eccentric cousin we sat with my dad for hours and days and even weeks and watched him play through that game. We commented on it, we were surprised. Me, my brother, and cousin helped dad whenever he got stuck in a part of the game, and we laughed. And well, we spent genuine quality time together. And well, it's part of my life that I won't exchange for anything. Anything. And there's so much more experiences like that for me. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 helped me when I faced a rejection from my high school crush. That sounds hilarious, and it is, kind of, trust me, but it is sad as well for me. And shooting people and throwing grenades gave the 15-year-old me some much needed relief. Final Fantasy 15 helped me find purpose in my life when I was purposeless. It is because of this game that I came to finally understand I love video games, not just as a hobby, but as a passion. The scale of this game just left me in awe, and yes, while the world didn't like it when it first released, I did. I loved Final Fantasy 15, and truthfully speaking, I think I'm gonna make a video of Final Fantasy 15 separately when I get the time. And then Dark Souls. There's Dark Souls. This game helped me realize that video games were not just pieces of entertainment and media, but they were art. And even video games can be nuanced, thoughtful, deep, dark, depressing, and gloomy. But at the same time, they could be uplifting, hopeful, and I'm sure there's even movies, music, and paintings that invoke the same feeling in other human beings. But my god, for me, good video games just do it better than everything else. So, why do I love video games? Well, because I enjoy them, and because it helps me build connections with people I didn't know and strengthen my relationships with the people I love. Now, when I think back on the time when my mom came back home from church after buying GTA 3, that must have been so hard for her. She went to a place completely unknown and bizarre to her for something she wasn't even remotely familiar of, for her son. Now that I realize it, I love and appreciate this beautiful human being for existing even more so than I did before, which I thought was impossible for me to love her even more, but I guess here we are. And talking about GTA 3, in my classroom, helped me make friends as we all discussed and obsessed about our mutual fondness for this game. And also, I was never close with my father. I loved him, but you love your dad anyways, right? Well, watching him play that cowboy game, Red Dead Revolver, and seeing him make and display various emotions was something extraordinary for me. It made me realize that the person sitting in front of me wasn't just my dad. My dad was his own person with his own feelings and thoughts and expectations. It made me understand my dad a little bit more. Anyways, the end point is, video games are amazing. Give them a try when you can.